If you're wondering why I'm in a suit, and if you're wondering why I look like I'm dressed up for church, it's because I actually went to church today. My nephew was baptized. And if you're wondering why I'm still in a suit and still in all of this lovely grubbish, it's because I'm attending another baptism in about an hour from now. An Eagles baptism. Sidney Jones getting baptized specifically. Philly 500 is here. I am Adrian Fedke. Purple Monkey baptisms in Minnesota. They got a little bit of revenge. A little bit. 38-20. Eagles lose this one. Ew.
Yo, everybody, I know I'm pissed off. I'm pissed today. This game pissed me off. This was the worst loss of the year. This was one that we had no chance late in the fourth quarter. I think it was a pathetic performance from the defense. I think Sidney Jones is trash. I think he needs to get cut. I think the Eagles need to do something drastic. This game really, I am very raw emotion, so please forgive me if I'm pissed off because I'm very pissed off about this game.
You're not the only one who's pissed off here in Philadelphia, Philly. You're not the only one.
It's pathetic. It was a pathetic performance by these. I mean, how do you let them score so easy? Pass after pass after pass. Don't you know they're going to pass? They pass every week. Everybody passes on it every week. And we do the same crap every week. And the same thing happens. I'm sick of it. You know? I mean, simple things like Alshon Jeffrey catches a bomb down the sideline. How does he go out of bounds? He wasn't even close. He wasn't pushed. The air blew in the dome. And he goes out of bounds. It's unacceptable. This is unacceptable play, especially defensively. And I'm pissed off. And I got to tell you, I don't feel like the way I watch this game, I don't feel like a lot of the guys out there really cared that they were losing, except for Carson Wentz, Brandon Graham, and maybe Fletcher Cox. That's about it. I felt like everybody else was just going through the motions. And that's how it looked. That's how it feels to me. I'm not saying that's the case, but that's how it feels. Nelson Aguilar, he's going down the end zone. Sure, the pass is overthrown. What does he do? He looks away as the ball's still behind him to give up on it. I see Lockett in Seattle diving outside the sideline to catch an overthrown ball, catch it with one hand, 2 feet in. Hey, we don't even get effort. We don't even get effort from these guys. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of the drops. I'm sick and tired of the bull crap. Let's get this thing going. I think the Eagles need to go in there. I think Doug needs to go in, and I think he needs to make a big, big statement. I think he needs to cut Sidney Jones. I think he should cut Sidney Jones, cut somebody that the whole locker room is going to get the message. Because this team, to me, played uninspired today for the most part. That's how I feel. So I got to get that out right away.
This is what this show is for. We're having a baptism in an hour for the Eagles. They're all getting dumped. Sidney Jones getting in a big pool of everything. Okay. This was I believe it was the fourth time in 6 games that the opposing team went right down the field on their opening possession and scored a touchdown. 5th time in 6 games that the opposing team has actually scored. So in this game, again, another donut for the offense in the first quarter, but all they had was basically 3 plays because the Vikings had the ball for the duration. So they score touchdowns on 3 of their first 4 possessions. They score 24 points in their first 4 possessions, and it's 24-3. It's the same shit. Offense gets off slow. Defense can't stop a nosebleed in the first quarter. So it always takes Doug like a quarter or 2 to get adjusted, and by the time he adjusted, it was too late because it was 24-20 when the Eagles really got close in it. And then what happened? They went back to the pass. Kirk Cousins threw 4 touchdowns. Kirk Cousins threw 4 touchdowns today. Stephon Diggs had 3 touchdowns.
Kirk Montana. That's what we call
160 yards. Stephon Diggs had. Adam Thielen. I mean, here's the thing. Rasul Douglas is an okay corner. He's a good corner, but he doesn't have deep speed. And when the line doesn't get after the quarterback like it didn't today for inconsistently, it got there at times. Hassan Ridgeway, Fletcher Cox was getting through the middle. BG lining up inside. But for the most part, I thought Kirk had the time, especially on those deep balls. especially in the first half. I mean, he had them. Those play action bootlegs. He had the time to scan the field, look downfield. And, he picked the Eagles apart today. And he had a history of doing well against the Eagles, and he beats them again today.
He seems to do – my memory of Kirk Cousins against the Eagles is he does really, really good, or he really plays boneheaded and makes some boneheaded plays. There's no in-between with him, it seems like, when he plays the Eagles. But, those scores, those were like one play, 2 play series, and they're hitting bombs to Diggs. And it's just like, I don't know. You hit a bomb, Diggs. They come right back out. First play, they hit another bomb. Like, didn't we even make an adjustment at all? I mean, is it so bad that Sidney Jones stinks so bad on the other side that the safeties are all cheating that way, that they're leaving Douglas on an island? Is that what? I mean, I have to see the all 22, but there was no safety help. So I'm assuming they're cheating over because they're worried about the other side. This isn't going to stop. This isn't going to stop. You're going to get Jalen Mills and LeBlanc back, and all of a sudden it's okay. I don't believe this is going to stop at all year. So you have to do one thing. You have to go out and find a way to get a Jalen Ramsey, or you have to find a way to get another wide receiver and get this offense potent enough that it can score and match teams. You have to score 40 points to win this game. You'd have to score 40 points. You have to score 35 points every week. That's the only way the Eagles can win with this defense. It's the truth.
I mean, here's the deal. They stopped the run. They did what the Vikings want to do. They wanted to run Dalvin Cook, pound the rock. 16 for 41 for Dalvin, 2.6 yards per carry, 35 for 122 in all. That's only a 3.5 yards per carry average. So I said coming in, I was like, look, I think the Eagles are going to stop the run. It's going to be about Kirk Cousins, about whether or not the Vikings are going to win this game. I really thought breaking down this game was simple. I really thought it was about him. And he came out and he threw 4 touchdowns. And he had time in the pocket early on, while it kind of collapsed a little bit more once, the Vikings got up. It was clean for most of the day. And then when you have those weapons in Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs, and they're overmatching the cornerbacks who unfortunately are not getting the time from the defensive line, that's a recipe for disaster. So, look, this brings the question again. I'll just put it out there. I mean, look, I've been saying kind of all along, I've been thinking it's going to be difficult to get Jalen Ramsey. But right now, he is the solution.
I mean, it is going to be very hard. I don't expect it to happen. When I say that, I don't expect it to happen. But God, if there's any way to do something like that's the only way I can figure out a way. That's the only way I see that this thing can change. Defensively, I don't know what else they can do. Like a lot of people don't like Schwartz, don't like the scheme. And I'm not big on his scheme, but at this point, I'm really starting to think it ain't him as much as the corners just suck. They're just not that good. They're not that good, okay? And they got to do something. I don't know how Howie Roseman can build this kind of team that is supposed to be competing for a championship and then not do anything to try to fix this. Right now, you're all in already, as far as I'm concerned. So go find somebody. Go find a couple guys. But you got to do something, in my opinion,
I mean, like hypothetically, you get Jalen Ramsey. You have him with Rasul Douglas. You have a defense that's already stopping the run. All of a sudden, that's going to help out your pass defense tremendously. Now, the pass rush needs to get a little bit better, a little bit more consistent. 10 sacks against the Jets, but you come back, you only have 1 against the Vikings. And an offensive line that you could have taken advantage of, and you didn't. So, there's that.
No, I know. I agree. I mean, the one thing, let's say hypothetically, we find a way to land Ramsey. I think that pretty much solves one side of you put him on the best receiver, and that solves the problem. I mean, number 1 receivers have been killing us. Redskins, the rookie, right? First week. Then you have Julio Jones. Then you have Marvin Jones Jr. Who else do you have? Then you have Devontae Adams destroyed us. The only team was the Jets, and they come right back and you have Thielen and Diggs go off on us. You got to do something, man. I don't know how they can fix it. It don't even look like they have answers. Like, it don't look like they know what to do.
The pass rush needs to be better.
Yeah.
That's when if you remember last year, it was it was the same thing. I mean, we all complained about Jalen Mills, and like I was trying to tell you guys, like there's not going to be anything else that's really much better, to be honest. Behind Jalen Mills, and I'm like, I really thought it was a scheme at the time. I still kind of think it's a scheme.
I think it has something to do with it. I do.
Yeah, it's the problem is there's no talent. So like without the talent, you really can't do anything with the corners. You can't really press as much because if you press with like, I mean, I know that's not the scheme in general because he likes them to play off and keep guys in front. But you get Jalen Ramsey, all of a sudden you feel a lot more comfortable with him just pressing somebody and just taking somebody out.
Well, and the thing with Jalen Ramsey too is I think he commands enough respect that Schwartz would have no choice but to adjust to him. You get like a guy like Chris Harris Jr. stuff, and though they're a good corner, I don't know if he's going to change things up for them. That's my concern. But at this point, dude, anybody would help in my opinion because it's a desperate situation in the secondary. Otherwise you have to go get a receiver and you have to get potent because you have to score 40 points a game.
Especially against a team like this. I mean, like, and this is a good defense too. So it's asking a lot. Any team that's going to have two great receivers, it's going to be a really difficult matchup for the Eagles. As long as you have a competent quarterback, which Kirk Cousins was today, he hadn't been all season until the last 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks, he was competent. He came out to play today. They have Stephon Diggs. They have Adam Thielen. Those guys are two arguably top 10. I'd say definitely top 20 receivers in the NFL. And those guys are going to be mismatches going against this secondary. And, this is the recipe that beats the Jim Schwartz defense. Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Get the ball out quick. You have weapons, and that's what you do. So, you can stop the run. And the Eagles do a tremendous job of doing that, but every week, I mean, it's. I'm trying to think ahead, like with the schedule. What's it going to be coming up? I mean, you got
Dallas.
Got Dallas. Dallas and Amari Cooper. You got to take care of
Buffalo. You got Buffalo.
Yeah. Well, Buffalo doesn't really have much of anything.
Then you got
the Bears.
Then you got the Bears.
Allen Robinson.
Well, maybe Trubisky's not playing, so that may be a break.
Man, I'll tell you what, Chase Daniel might even be better than Trubisky, to be honest. Trubisky, man, they could have had Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson, and they took the Trubisky, and they traded up one spot for him.
Yeah, Mahomes was the pick. Well, I mean, either one, but jeez. Jets are winning, by the way. It's early. 7-0 Jets.
Hey, listen, if the Jets win... It takes a lot of the sorrow away. Trust me.
If the Jets win, it's like a huge break for
yes.
It's a huge break. I mean, I will say this though, like, and I said this in my stream. You got Cowboys in a big game Sunday night. I think the Eagles were embarrassed today. I think that if they have any heart, they're going to come out really pissed off against Dallas, and they should give Dallas their best shot. And I like that. You know what I mean? I think they have a better chance losing against Minnesota than if they would have beat Minnesota. But obviously, if Dallas loses to the Jets, then you can erase all that because they're going to be desperate too. But to me, that's I think it's a must win. If you want to win the division next week, you have to win. You have to win them.
Oh yeah, it's a must. I mean, pretty much a must-win game for the division. Absolutely.
Yeah, for the division, I think you don't win next week, it's going to be hard. I think if you win next week, you're back in division. Otherwise, I'm going to start focus on just getting a wild card. But
yeah, whew. Man, this defense all of a sudden. I don't know how healthy Ronald Darby would be once he'd come back. So I know he had his struggles the first month because he's coming off that ACL injury and that first year back coming off that. I don't know if that extra time would kind of heal the ACL while he's also getting that other injury cleared. I don't know, but it's like I thought Sidney Jones actually showed some promise the first 3 games of the year because He stunk in the preseason. Then he was like okayish. And then he stunk again. And then he got hurt in the game of his stunkness. And then the stunkness has continued. The stickness, present tense.
And Doug kind of called them out, and it did nothing.
Did nothing.
It did nothing. And to me, that shows me what he's about. Like I don't think he's got that.
He might be a little bit of like a little Markel Fultz, a little.
Yeah, I don't think he's got that dog in him, man.
Soft mentally.
Because I tell you what, if Jalen Mills got called out, if Rasul Douglas got called out, they would come out fired up. I know they would. Even if Jalen Mills isn't that great, Jalen Mills ain't allowing that touchdown.
Did they even get a pass breakup? One of the two?
No.
Rasul or Sidney?
No.
Did they even get anything?
We got one interception by Sendejo, and the only reason we did it was because Stephon Diggs on the sideline misses it, bounces off against his helmet. That was lucky.
I'm trying to think if there was. I'm going to watch the game back for the notebook. I'll keep track of this. I don't think any cornerback made a play at all.
No. And let me tell you something, dude. They called that one. The one play where I thought Sidney Jones had good coverage, they called him for pass interference, which was a horrible call.
That was the only good coverage of the game.
Yeah.
And it was a PI.
It was a PI. I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. That's like the death knell for this kid. And then James came in, and he wasn't any better.
Yeah, I don't know if Jones went out because he's hurt or Jones went out because he's stuck.
I was calling for him to get benched, so I'm hoping that's what it was.
Man, just like I called him out for his stinkness during the preseason, and then he kind of played well again, like I said, and then for him to just bounce back like this, it shows what he's made of mentally, and he doesn't have it.
Yeah,
at least not right now.
Yeah, one thing I'll say that I was happy to see was that they did stretch the ball a little bit today. They were able to catch some plays downfield. They hit Miles Sanders on the 32-yard touchdown. They hit him again on that other wheel route. And then they hit Aguilar, I guess it was like about maybe a 25, 30-yard pass. And I thought that was nice to see, and I thought it was very effective. But it seems like they don't really trust any of their other wide receivers to go long. I mean, they're using Sanders to go downfield. They had Matt Collins. Do you remember the back shoulder throw? It went right through his hands. It was a good pass. It should have been a touchdown. He dropped it. I mean, I can't stand it. We could have DK Metcalf, dude.
Honestly, I was not a DK Metcalf guy.
I was like, take a shot because he's either bust or boom. And he looks good so far, Yeah. I mean, where's our Ortega-Whiteside?
I'll say this. All right, so we'll start, I guess, from kind of the first quarter scoring, and we'll get to kind of where you were going. So first quarter scoring, again, they had 0 points. That was the fifth time in 6 games. Now, this is also like it's not just the offense here. Why they're not scoring in the first quarter? It's the defense too.
Wait. One thing though, I gotta say they get the ball 7 minutes into the first quarter for the first time. They run 3 straight times and go 3 and out.
I was about to get into that.
Yeah, sorry.
They ran it 3 straight times, and in the first quarter, I believe Carson Wentz only completed 1 pass, and he only completed 1 pass because the Eagles basically didn't have the ball. And this has been the case pretty much all season long. In the first quarter, teams are going right down the field, and the Eagles have to play catch up. They're not able to play in front, not kind of able to do what they want to do, pound the football in the second half, really overwhelm you. They're playing from behind. It's making it predictable. They got to throw the ball a ton, and it's this. You can get away with this against the Redskins. You can even get away with this against I don't know. Did they get away with this with anybody else? I don't think they did. But this team right here, the Vikings, no, you can't do this. You can't do this each and every week. Getting off to these starts, 24-3, 24-3. No,
dude,
he's bad.
He completed 1 pass in the first quarter, and he threw 1 pass. He was 1 for 1, okay? And let me tell you the other thing I can't stand. I can't stand the screen pass to Alshon Jeffrey. I called it out and knew it was coming. They can't do it? I mean, if I can see it coming, Minnesota sees it coming. You know what I mean?
They kept calling that.
And he's slow.
Well,
He can't run anymore.
the
He's
play should
hurt.
be going to Aguilar, not Jeffrey.
Jeffrey's so slow off. He doesn't have the speed. I think he's hurt. He doesn't look right to me. He's so slow. When he catches the ball, it takes him a second to even start running.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe they don't trust Aguilar to catch it. I don't know.
So we talked about the slow start and how it's kind of the defense, but also it's like it's the script and that first drive, it's like 3rd and 2. I didn't hate that they ran it.
I didn't at all.
Yeah, I didn't either. But man, it just sucks that they couldn't get the first down there. And again, it's like Doug has to use his ability to ad lib and make things happen on the fly here. So he finds the mismatch, and that's what happened. The reason why they didn't go deep to a wide receiver is because the Vikings have a great secondary and obviously some great cornerbacks, unlike the Eagles. So you got Xavier Rhodes, who's a top 10 corner in the game, and then you got Trey Waynes and got Mackenzie Alexander, and you got all those guys. There's Mike Hughes, a former first-round pick. He made a play today. So 4 corners deep. It'd be nice if the Eagles had one of those guys. But they had to attack the linebackers because, it was tough for the receivers, and that's the adjustment that Doug kind of made. So Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz, they're kind of used underneath, and then Miles Sanders down the seam on the wheel route, and that's how they were able to score points.
Well, I mean, the thing is I understand you want the matchups, but I mean, we're talking about a team that had not gone long since from the Deshaun Jackson game versus Washington. They waited until last week versus the Jets to throw one pass over 25 yards. Yeah. I mean, that's ridiculous. You got to keep a defense honest, even if you don't get it.
And the passes that they tried long today, like you were saying, Nelson Aguilar was kind of looking for a flag instead of just going up for the football.
He literally saw the ball was still behind. He turned his head and gave up on it. He gives up on it. And maybe he wouldn't have caught it. Maybe it was too far. But I see guys every week diving, trying to make plays that are overthrown, going out of bounds. And they do it. He didn't even attempt it. Holland's down the sideline. He goes up, and it goes right through his hands. I don't, at some point, some guys have to make some good catches for your quarterback. You have to do something. Other teams have that happen all the time. I watch it every week, but not the Eagles.
All right, let's talk about Carson Wentz now. 26 of 40, 306 yards, 2 touchdowns, had that interception once the game was kind of already decided. 94.4 quarterback rating. I mean, I was impressed with his play, once they got down. This wasn't about Wentz. This was about other things today.
I thought Carson was fine. To be honest with you, I was getting really pissed during my stream because I saw Carson getting pissed off when Kelsey wouldn't snap the ball, and he's clapping, trying to tell him, and he's asleep. For some reason, he doesn't snap the ball, right? You remember that? He slams his helmet in the sideline. I like that he's getting pissed off. I like the fact that he was when he got tackled and the Minnesota guy was punching him on the ground, trying to punch him. He got up and he's pissed and he's in their face. He actually cares that they're losing, and it's showing. I respect that. I can like that about my car. I like that. I don't want anybody on this team to be not as upset as me. They should be more upset. And if I'm pissed off, they should be pissed off. And if they're not as pissed off as me, there's something wrong. The fans should not be more pissed than the players. And I feel like some of these players don't give a shit sometimes. I just don't. And it pisses me off. And when I see my quarterback getting in the face of the defensive lineman and everybody's just walking with their head down, it pisses me off. And I thought Carson was the only reason we had a chance to win this game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the only positive takeaway out of this is the fact I'll say this. So I'm noticing him take off less and less. Have you noticed that? And not only taking off less and less, he's learning the art of extending the play, and throwing the ball from behind the line of scrimmage, and that was something that he was doing a lot of today.
Yeah, I thought he did a good job with that myself. Like I said, I thought he was the only reason we had a chance to win this game. I'm not, some of the drops, just horrible. Ertz drops a couple balls today. Alshon had a ball, and some people go, "Oh, it's high." It was a high throw, but if you look at it, it was the only place Carson could put it because the corner was right in front of him. It was a great pass. You got to catch it. And then Hollins. And look, I don't want to make excuses for him. The interception at the end, to me, was meaningless. He's just trying to force a play. Basically, the guy should have been taken out of the game at that point, in my opinion, anyways. I would have not even have had him back in. But I thought Carson was one of the only reasons we had a chance to win this game. I thought he was one of the only positives in this game. That's how upset I was about everybody else. And I hope people call him out this week. I hope they get called out for not showing heart, because I want this team pissed off when they play Dallas, dude. I want them angry, you know?
So Ertz had the play that you're kind of referencing where, like, again, that was another play where, like, he's kind of looking for a flag.
And he just,
making the play.
And the ball goes right through his hands because he's just so worried about the flag. It's like, dude, you know, come on, man. You know?
This all comes back to Sidney Jones again, because it'd be nice if they would have hit on this pick. Because they haven't had a corner since, Sante Samuel, like a true, legitimate, shut-down, number one cornerback. And that's what Sidney Jones was supposed to be.
Right.
And he was a
top 10 talent coming out of the draft.
Oh, he was supposed to be, and he was my number 2 ranked cornerback, as he was on a lot of people's boards. And the only reason why he slid to the second round is because of the injury. But ever since then, it's been, again, the injuries, and then just there's a hesitation with him. There's a lack of confidence when I see him play. And it's just not there right now for Sidney Jones.
No, I think you said it right. I think he's got a little bit of that Markel Fultz thing going on.
Oh.
Because you got to wonder, man. I don't know, man. You have to have thick skin to play corner, and I don't know. Just the body language that he gives off to me is not good. It just doesn't look good to me.
This is he's looking bad. He's not looking good.
No, I mean,
he's not even looking like a starter.
Oh, he's looking like a practice squad corner.
Oh,
I mean, dude, I just think, I think Sidney Jones, dude. I said last year was his rookie year. Give him a break, but to me, he looks worse, and he keeps getting hurt.
The thing was, I was like, all right, well, let's see what he looks like a year after the Achilles, which it was this year. And again, it goes back to what I was saying. He looked okay-ish the first couple weeks, and then ever since he's been bad, it's like once he loses the confidence, it's gone for him.
Yeah. Well, I think any corner, when a corner loses the confidence, dude, it's like it's over. It's over. It's over. You're done, because you have to play with confidence. You have to have thick skin. You have to let things go. I mean, say what you want about Jalen Mills, he lets things go.
You know, that's probably the biggest reason why I like Jalen Mills. And when I was back here a year ago saying I didn't think Jalen Mills was as bad as everyone says, because people wanted Sidney Jones in or whatever, and It's the same thing now. It's the same thing year in, year out with the corners, unfortunately. And they need to get this fixed. I don't think they have the money to make Jalen Ramsey work, but you know what? Just bring him in and then just figure it out.
I mean, I don't know what else to do at this point. And when you look for a fix, I don't think that there's one formula that they can take this player and put him here and this player that's on the roster. I don't think the answer's on your roster.
You know what sucks about this too? I'm sorry to cut you off, but I was just thinking I was thinking about this. You could have included Sidney Jones in a potential package for Jalen Ramsey, but the Jags aren't going to want him anymore. No. They look at this piece of trash. They don't want him.
Did the Jags win today, by the way?
They lost.
Beautiful. Look, I know Jalen Ramsey had a heart-to-heart with the owner, but apparently what came out of it was he wants to trade. It ain't moving. He ain't moving. He ain't playing. And they can say what they want about him being hurt back. I don't think he wants to play. I don't believe he has hurt back. I don't think he wants to play, to be honest with you.
He doesn't want to play for Jacksonville.
For Jacksonville. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he's gonna
think
get
as soon
traded.
as he
I
gets
don't-
traded, he's gonna magically be healthy. You watch.
I think again that I think they're gonna get outbid by somebody though, because
It could because they don't have the money.
I think like how he knows the money's tight. Like again, I just don't think this is gonna happen. But if it does happen, I really think it would go a long ways towards helping the defense. Just simply bringing him in, because all of a sudden Rasul Douglas is suddenly a number 2 corner because he is a number 2 corner. That's what he is, not a number 1. Then you have Jalen Ramsey, a true number 1. All of a sudden, you don't have to worry about the pass rush as much. You're already stuffing the run. So that goes such a long ways towards limiting opposing offenses. Like you go from allowing 30-plus points a game. I not that it would be that every week, but that's what it's been sort of. So you go from some high 20s, low 30s to bringing Jalen Ramsey in its low 20s to maybe mid 20s, and all of a sudden your offense can overcome that that gap.
Right, and just the respect that the guy gets for being who he is, teams don't even want to throw at him, or as little as possible. So it just helps in that, helps with his swagger. I mean, we're talking about something that is highly unlikely. I want to say that. I don't think that
I've been saying it's unlikely for a while. I mean, if it happens, I will be shocked.
But I will tell you this. If he ends up somewhere else, I'm going to be pissed. Because to me, the Eagles should not let anybody outbid them. They should not let anybody outbid them.
Yeah, the problem is like
you can't allow it.
If it's 2 first-round picks again for Philly, it's a pair of late-round picks, and that's just not going to outbid somebody.
Not the way we're playing.
That's true. That is true. That's very true. Very true. Oh man, you got that right. Oh, I like Brendan. Have I told you about Patrick Peterson? Have I suggested? I think I have, right?
Yeah. No, the only thing I heard about him is that they don't want to trade him, and he's coming back from a 6-game suspension.
Yeah, well, of course they say they don't want to trade him for some leverage there. So.
Look, if he could help at this point, I say bring him in. To me, I don't mind giving 2 first rounds up for Ramsey though, because he's 24.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the big thing, and I want to see real quick how I think he's 29. Actually, is Patrick Peterson, or he might actually be 28. But
I don't know. I thought he was 30.
He just turned 29 in July.
Well, you get him. You get him a couple years. Get him for a couple years.
Yeah. So you said it today. You just said it. Adam Schefter reporting. Cardinals are getting calls about teams inquiring about Patrick Peterson, but they keep telling teams they're not trading him. So,
and that makes no sense to me. Your team stinks. Here's the thing, though.
I'm sure they're probably just waiting until the time comes.
Well, and that's the thing. Even with all these guys, the owner comes out and says certain things because he wants to maximize guys' values at the trade deadline. But the question is can we afford to wait to the trade deadline? I mean,
Yeah. Well, see, that's the other thing about this is once you bring a cornerback in, he's got to learn the scheme.
Right.
And it's like with Jalen Ramsey, it's different because you can just plug him in. It doesn't matter. You just tell him, hey, go man-to-man, go match up. That's it. But for a guy like who is lesser, if you bring in, say, like, a Xavier Howard or or Chris Harris, for example, and they have to learn the scheme and really it's going to take a couple weeks, even a month, before you really see the positives of the player that you acquired. Whereas a guy like Patrick Peterson and Jalen Ramsey, you can kind of plug them in, and there's still a time period where they have to adjust, but I mean their talent is overcoming that adjustment period.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how else to fix this, to be honest with you, other than going outside of the team and acquiring somebody. I don't know how to stop it. I don't think, I mean, people are crying for Jalen Mills to come back. Can you believe it? They are begging for Jalen Mills to come back.
Oh.
I mean, that's where we're at. And look, let me tell you, people can say what they want. Yeah, he gives up big plays, but dude, at least he can play red zone defense.
Well, that's why I was telling people last year, like, listen, like, Jalen Mills isn't as bad as you people think because of what he does in the red zone. He basically doesn't allow touchdowns in the red zone at all.
Yeah.
But in between the 20s, yes, he will get beat. See, the thing is, here's the problem with people in Jalen Mills. He gets beat deep. And when they see him get beat deep for a 50 to 60-yard play, that's obviously very bad.
Right.
But a field goal is less than a touchdown.
Right.
And that's the important thing that you have to remember.
Right. If you put Jalen Mills in that position where Thielen scores the first touchdown, and where
that's
Sidney
not
Jones,
a touchdown.
It's not a touchdown.
Not a touchdown.
He's not biting on that.
Not a touchdown. That's the difference between Jalen Mills and that's a great point there. You hit it.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. So it's very frustrating, man. Look, I know people get frustrated. They don't want to hear about, trade this guy, trade that guy, or there's these rumors. But I mean, I don't see another option for this team to fix this on defense. It's just my opinion. I mean, maybe they can. Maybe Schwartz can work something, but I don't know what it is. I don't know.
I believe Jalen Ramsey is like the only one who can legitimately sort of fix something to the point where you're allowing less than a touchdown less a game.
Yeah. I think he's the game changer. I do. Just
I mean, you're not fixing all of your holes because there's still some leakage in your defense.
No. You're just filling your biggest hole.
Yes.
Shut down the number one wide receiver.
Yeah. But I wonder, because when I watch them play, and you see the defense, there's a lot of third and longs. There's a lot of 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 9s, and 3rd and 10s, which is great that the defense is able to play good on 1st and 2nd down. But then the 3rd down comes around, and it still doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. The corners still can't make a play, and the pass rush is getting home.
First drive of the game, the Eagles had Minnesota in a 3rd and 13, and they allowed 1st down.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that. You just can't allow that to happen. It's a frustrating loss, man. This one hurts because I just think we were so pathetic on defense.
Yes.
I don't know how to stop. I don't have an answer. I can't say, once we get LeBlanc back and Mills back, we're going to be fine. I don't believe that. I don't believe Darby coming back. I don't believe I don't believe these guys are going to help that much. I think it's going to be more of the same until they can prove it wrong. I mean,
like this is what happened last year was like a mix and match with the corners, and then once they kind of figured it out, I mean it was a combination of them figuring it out by getting LeBlanc and it was Avante who was great on the outside.
Avante played good, yeah.
Yeah, so it was a combination of that, and the pass rush got better. The pass rush was number 1 in sacks the final month of the season. The team was. So you had that combination. Whereas this year, it's, all right, can you find a combination like last year? Because you do have Avante coming back. Maybe that helps out in the slot a little bit better. But, I mean, whatever. Maybe you put him outside. You have Ronald Darby coming back. But, again, he's kind of hurt here. I don't know how much he's going to be able to give. You do have Rasul Douglas. I mean, I'm looking at somebody that I think they will trade for somebody. I don't think it's going to be for Ramsey, though.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, that's who I want. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do think it'll be somebody. It's just, will that person be good enough to make a change? To you know what I mean? That I don't know.
Is Xavier Howard's on the last year, right? Let's see, 1, 2, 3.
I don't know, but I like Xavier Howard.
I like him too.
And he's 26 too. Yeah. That's the other thing.
So he wouldn't cost you like anything crazy. Like, I mean, he'd cost you something because he's 26. But Miami at this point, they're selling everybody.
Yeah, I know. I might try to get Devontae Parker deal too. I mean, the hell with it, dude.
Yeah, Devontae. I'm not a Devontae Parker guy. I think we've had this discussion before, haven't we?
We have. I think in the right circumstance he could be good, and I think he could stretch the field for us.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
big on him. I think.
I mean, I wouldn't mind Emmanuel Sanders either. He's another one I would like to get for a rental for 1 year. I mean, because like the only option I see if you don't go corner, if you don't fix this defense, is you're gonna have to score more points than the other team, and you have to get weapon. You have to get a weapon.
You need to face teams who don't have good wide receivers. That's what it is. And like, I'm trying. Like coming into the game, believe it or not, the Eagles were 10th in the NFL in passer rating allowed, which was actually might be better than you think, but that number definitely went up after today.
Oh man,
Let's see. What was Kirk Cousins? I got to go back to.
He was like, dude, he was like 20, 22 or 27. I mean, I think like something ridiculous like that.
He's 22 of 29 for 333 yards, 4 touchdowns.
22 of 29.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, 22 of 29.
So they were working the quick 3-step drop, I think it was, with some bootlegs that were working because they were bootlegging away from pressure each and every time. It was frustrating to watch. It was just like Kirk Cousins picking, like the fact that Kirk Cousins is out there picking him apart. It's just like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and thank Zach Brown for talking shit the week before because you knew that was going to backfire in his.
He's the guy they should cut on the spot.
Oh, he should cut him too. Yeah, cut him. I mean, I'm like serious, dude. I really think they need to do something in that locker room. That just because I don't know the way my sense is that these guys, a lot of them are just going through the motion, man. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I'm looking at it like harsh, but I feel like you need to do something like that to kind of like snap this team into place because besides Carson and Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox, I don't see anybody with emotion out there.
138.4 was Kirk Cousins' quarterback rating.
Totally ridiculous. Totally ridiculous.
All right. I'm trying to think. That's basically it here. I got nothing else.
No,
I got a recap to write and a baptism to attend.
Very cool. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know.
You can come to the baptism with me.
I'll go.
Sidney Jones getting dunked in the top.
Yeah, exactly. We need to do something. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll stream again. I don't know. I'm really pissed off, man.
Yeah.
I'm really pissed off.
I think I'm going to be pissed off when I watch the game again.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm too tired right now.
There's just some things that just really irk me, that I see that I don't like. I'm going to have to go back and watch it. Maybe I'm overreacting out of frustration. I don't know. But there's just some things that I don't like. And I'm not even talking about secondary just getting destroyed and stuff. Just the way the team seems to carry themselves at times really pisses me off.
Yeah. All right. Is final thoughts? Was that your final thought?
That's it, man. That's it.
Yeah. Depressing day to be an Eagles fan. The Vikings exact some revenge. Now, listen, it's a regular season game. You got the regular season game last year. But the Eagles, they still have the Super Bowl. They still traded Sam Bradford for a first and a fourth. They still prevented the Vikings from making the playoffs last year. So while you guys can revel in your victory today, just remember that the Vikings are still the Eagles, bitch. All right, there we go.
I feel good about that. There you go.
There we go. That's the way we're going to end it. All right. As the comments rolling in, Sean Fitzpatrick asks, nice suit, Fedke, who died. It was a baptism today. A baptism, Sean, and I'm about to attend another baptism, this one of Sidney Jones. So we're getting out of here. I got to go to the baptism. Let's go get the tub ready. Peace!
Get ready.
That's Philly 500.
Peace.
See ya.